Hey, Inspired Tribe, how's it going? Welcome to the Inspired Livestream number 148. We're so excited that you're here, guys. It is Thursday, March 18th, 2021, 20 WON. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. My name is Jean Nolan. My wonderful wife, Kristin Nolan, she's right there. You're going to hear her because she has an inspired thought. She chimes in and you hear her beautiful voice, and I get to see her beautiful smile while I talk to you, which in turn inspires me. So we're excited that you're here, guys. We're going to go, and today we created a list for you guys. Because let's be honest, who doesn't love lists? It's precise, and you have a really good guide. And so before we start today, while we're kind of tuning in and matching up our vibrations, why don't you guys maybe grab a pen and paper or notebook? It might actually be a good idea to write this stuff down, or of course you can come back and rewatch this. And this is going to be a kind of a really good list to go through and bring a lot of clarity. But first, let me welcome you all. Alma is here. Thank you so much for being here. Agnieszka is here. And we're just allowing for people to jump on before we start. Takes a little while to get the notifications and to jump on and be ready for this. Now it's been an expansive week so far. It's only Thursday, and Christina and I feel like we've lived 2 weeks in one, right? There's so much happening. It's sometimes just a really wonderful journey how we move through the day. I'll just tell you, on any given day, it can be that we get up in the morning and we go out for a walk, and then I might be in the studio recording some music, coming back, doing a live stream with you guys. Then we do a
one-on-one later.
Having a one-on-one. Christine's doing one-on-ones in between. Then we might have a EUCY session and then a membership call. And so at the end of the day, it feels like we've traveled the universe one time over, and it's always wonderful. And we love the life that we are creating for ourselves. There's so much diversity in it, and there's so much beauty, and there's always it's never the same. There's never a dull moment. We're never bored. And we're also parents of 3 children. I mean, they're not children anymore. They're young adults now, but we are parents of 3, so there is never a dull moment. So let me see who else has jumped on. By the way, as soon as you come in here, first thing you do, please hit the like button. Second thing you do, go into the live chat, and tell us where you're tuning in from and who you are. Even if you do it every day, there's always new Tribesters here, new Inspired Tribe members. So always introduce yourself. And that way you guys kind of get a feel and remember who you are and get in touch with each other. And that's really important to us. Lovingly, we call the Inspired Tribe member Tribesters. So also, let me say this before we jump into today's topic. If you are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the Inspired Tribe. You are now a member. There's nothing you can do about it. This has happened. You are in for life. It sounds like the mafia, but this is really a good thing. You are in for life. There's nothing you can do about it, but there's also no membership fee and no dues to pay. There's just a loving experience that we all share. So one quick, I think I overlooked Jessica, right? Earlier. So hi, Jessica. Hi, Gabrielle. Hey, Emma. How's it going? So everyone, welcome. Let's dive into it. One of the most important things that while people are creating the life of their dreams and they're going through, they're visualizing and doing all the wonderful work that there is to do, they sometimes forget that life's all about making choices and decisions. And while this kind of sounds like a given, you would be surprised as to what people do to avoid making decisions. And remember, whatever you avoid will always come back a little bit stronger than before, a little bit more intense than before. So when you try to avoid it, it might kind of seem to disappear for a while, but it comes back, hits you harder, is there even more intensely. So people avoid making decisions because decisions always have consequences. Consequence in itself has no meaning other than it comes with a series of events that are connected to that decision. Whether they're positive or negative for you is really depending on how you make your decisions and how you make your choices. But today we want to kind of introduce you to a list of 10 decisions that we have made in our lives and that we're continuing to make in our lives, and that have created a dramatic, and I want to say a radical change, radical shift. And why do I say this word radical? When you turn on the news, whenever you hear radical, it's something negative. But let me tell you, radical comes, it's a word that that means literally root. It means root. So if you want to change something, you got to change it at the root. That's the same way. If you go outside and if you want to get rid of your weeds in your yard and you just cut them off at the surface level, what's going to happen? 2 days later, they're going to be right back where they were, because you did not change the root situation. You did not pull them out. You didn't change it at the root. And that's the same with life. We want to make decisions that are root decisions, that are radical decisions. So actually making radical changes is a good thing, because that's the only lasting change that's going to happen. So let's dive into it. And by no means is this in an alphabetical order or order of importance, or is it complete, but a list of very important choices that we made and continue to make. So pull out your pen and notebook. Let's dive into it. So number one is about a misconception. And the misconception is life is all about making compromises. Compromises. And you hear this, life, marriage, da, 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 da. It's all about compromises. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Life is not about making compromises. To the contrary, life is not a series of compromises and negotiations. Life is a really and very absolute experience. And it is way too awesome and way too amazing when you experience it to make compromises. Because compromises means that you're living a half-assed life. And a half-assed life is nothing. It doesn't mean anything, because you'll never experience it fully. You'll always have regrets. You'll always think, what if I had only done this? Or what if I would do this differently? So compromises and negotiations are not part of our daily life experience. We have actually decided that we will not make compromises, and that we will go for exactly what we desire in life, and that we will live and attract and create exactly what we desire in life. And we are not dealing with compromises. Now, you might say, well, you have a family, you have children, da, 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 da. Does that mean you never make compromises? What it means is that we never settle for a solution that doesn't fully fulfill us or satisfy us. We simply don't. So we don't believe that life is about making compromises. We believe that life's about living life fully. You got to live it. Capital L-I-V-E. You got to live it. You got to live life to the fullest. Screw compromises. And we're going to work ourselves down the list. So you see that not making compromises doesn't make you unkind, doesn't make you ignorant, doesn't make you disrespectful. Not at all. This is about you and your life experience, your desires, your dreams, and how you interact with the universe. So, decision number one, live fully. Don't settle for compromises. Don't negotiate your life away. Decision number two, really, really important. And this has been coming up lately for a lot of people in our tribe and in our circle and so forth. Decision number two is be kind, be loving, but take no shit from no one. You can see this is a little profanity infused today. This is why we marked that this is not made for kids checkbox when we created this live stream link. Just kidding. But really, be kind, be loving, but take no shit. What does that really mean in practical terms? It means that we always go out and we always live with our heart. We express ourselves with our hearts, and we're kind towards people, but we do not accept to be treated disrespectfully, and we do not literally take shit from anyone, which means is we turn away, we walk away. If someone is disrespectful, if someone treats you without without the basic human kindness that we want to experience in all of our relationships, we walk away. It doesn't matter if it's a good business deal, but someone's being an ass, we walk away. It doesn't matter what the perceived advantages are. If someone is treating you unkindly, walk away with your heart, with your dignity, with your self-respect intact. Don't ever diminish yourself and take shit from others because it's only a sign of their insecurities, of their problems, And you don't have to do that. So be kind, be loving, take no shit. A decision we had to make, literally had to make, and we continue to make it. Number 3, and this is really, 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 really important. Find appreciation for most anything. If appreciation is your focus, you will not only find so many things throughout your day to appreciate, but you will also learn to appreciate unconditionally. There are situations that for most people appear to be very uncomfortable or appear to be disadvantageous or appear to be wrong. But if you have a outlook, if you have a mindset of appreciation, you find the positive, the good, the beneficial in everything. If not at that time, your level of appreciation will produce that clarity for you, maybe in hindsight. But if you live life with that outlook to find and be appreciative of pretty much anything and everything that you experience, your whole outlook will change. And this is a being matter rather than putting a filter on your mind. This is something that you do from your heart. You begin by, when the day's still calm, when the morning is still early, when everything is still slow, you begin by appreciating the things in your life that come up to your mind, that kind of naturally come into your thoughts, whether that's your spouse or your children or your family, your loved ones, your abundance, your health, all of those things, whatever it is that comes up for you. But if you set your day like that, you will go and walk throughout the day and find appreciation in everything, even in the experience with that maybe unkind person that is somewhere, because even they are showing you, they're showing the world something, there's something to see, something to gain. And the easiest way to do that is if you find appreciation for most anything you experience. Very important decision. It's a decision. This is not something that comes to you just by accident. You make that decision and then you have to teach yourself. You have to teach yourself to do that, because social programming has taught us to react, accordingly. So if someone has, if a situation would appear to be negative, we're socially programmed to react in a negative way. If someone is being rude, we're socially programmed to also react in a rude way. So by applying appreciation to those situations, you step out of this and you come at it from a different space. Decision number 4, super important, because that's the topic of the day, all day, every day in media, social media, excuse me, in the social programming field. And that's to learn the difference between feelings and feelings. And that's very clarifying, isn't it? The difference between feelings and feelings? Duh. So there are feelings that are your true, authentic intuition. It's you've heard this before, your guidance system, something that guides you through your decisions, your days, that guides you through everything. Excuse me. Okay, I think we're over this, hopefully. So there's a feeling of being authentically connected. You maybe do your morning meditation, do your morning prayer, you feel a connection, you feel this feeling guidance system, and that is, intuition. You know where to go, you know what to do, you have this clarity about this. And then there's feelings, what people today call, being so cautious of what you say, of how you express yourself, because you might hurt someone else's feelings, or you expecting the world to be super cautious around you because they might hurt your feelings. While we have said in decision number 2, be kind, be loving to everyone, but you're bound to have experiences where someone's going to be not so respectful of you or your opinions or your views or whatever. And to live life that way would mean that we fully restrict ourselves, restrict our experience, because we're always just worried about what's the next thing I could say wrong. I might offend this or that person. If we're kind, if we're loving, if we're respectful, that's a very slim chance it's going to happen anyways, but it might happen because people go to more extreme measures to find ways to be offended. It's become a sport. It's soon going to be an Olympic sport. Who's the best at being offended? And we can't go down that path. That's not humanity. That's not freedom. That's not expression. So there's a difference between the feelings that guide you, that give you clarity about your decisions, about your own life, and the perceived feelings where you go, someone else says something, and because they said it, now my feelings are hurt. Now I'm in a bad state. That's a choice that you make, and that's a choice that you can change. So the choice here really is to honor your intuition, but to honor the freedom of expression of everyone around you, and to honor your autonomy and your responsibility for your own well-being, and vice versa. If you talk about a subject and you do it in a respectful way, if someone else is offended anyways, that's okay. That's on them. That's happening within them, something they have to deal with. We can't walk through life constantly looking for the potential pitfall or the potential trap where we might say something that might offend someone. That's not living. That's not expressing yourself freely. So that's really an important thing, distinguishing. And it is not our job as human beings to look for ways or to look for all the pitfalls of how we could offend someone. That's just not how we should live. That's not freedom. It's a really important point that it's been coming up.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. It is a choice.
If I feel offended, it's a choice.
Exactly. It is a choice.
Maybe I should look behind it and feel my way through it. Why I feel offended.
Why I feel offended and why I give away the power to anyone else to have control over my feelings. Makes sense? Makes a lot of sense. But hey, this is a decision we made because we were faced with family, like everyone else. Most of these things happen within family, and it's something that's the greatest lesson because you love your family, you love your parents, you love your siblings, but there's so much of that, being or doing the offending going on. So this is really something that you learn there, and it's a decision that you make. And once you overcome that and you are in this state of greater freedom, you will learn that, oh, well, they said it. Well, what does that have to do with me? It's in their head. It's in their mind. It doesn't really have to do anything with me. Important decision. Now, number 5, and I put this at the center of the list for a reason. It's at the center of everything. And someone might be offended here. That's okay. I don't care. But you're never going to experience real fulfillment, real inner satisfaction, a real level of joy in your life if you don't have an honest, real relationship with your Creator. What that means for you, if you call it God, if you call it universe, if you call it source, great spirit, the name in itself doesn't matter. But if you do not have an authentic, real, honest relationship with your Creator, you will look for that in different ways within other people. You will look for that within things and material stuff. You will look for it. You will look to substitute it with success, with money. Some people do it with drugs and alcohol. Some people do it with sex. And I was just going to say addictions, whatever that addiction is. Do it with sex or, again, drugs or extreme sports, something that gives them this feeling of short-lived feeling of euphoria because they want to, they feel the void. They feel the emptiness and they know there's something there, but if they're not really diving in, if you're not diving into that relationship, if you don't dedicate a part of your day, the best part is the morning. That's, hands down the best part. If you don't dedicate a part of your day to that relationship, fostering it, intensifying it, and making that really the focal point of your life, then you will miss out, and that cannot be replaced with anything. There are mental techniques that you can learn to, bring about a certain hormonal experience in your body. There's all kinds of things that you can learn to live, to find those moments of happiness. But that's moments. We're talking about real fulfillment. That's a foundation to build your life on. And that's the most important decision. That's why it's at the center. The most important decision that you can ever make to either begin or intensify, expand that relationship and see what it does in your life. Knowing that that Creator is omnipresent, and sometimes it's easier to begin by thinking about the Creator being above, maybe because of cultural imprint, whatever. for some people, it's easier to immediately feel it's within because the creator is within. It's all around and within. But that is the most important decision we have made. And to go beyond whatever your cultural imprint is, because God in almost every culture and religion or source or the universe are kind of relative beings that are being perceived from a human standpoint, judging, relative, punishing. We would suggest that for your relationship, set that aside for a moment. Set that aside and just go into this deep connection, whether that's through meditation, through walks in nature, through just quiet silence. Sometimes it might be reading something and then meditating on that, but just look for that, find that, put your attention on it, set an intention to do that. Nothing can replace this relationship with your creator. Super important decision. Decision number 6, serve beyond yourself. Serve humanity, serve people, serve others, serve the planet. It doesn't mean to deny yourself. It doesn't mean to deny your needs. It doesn't mean to give yourself up, make yourself smaller or less important. But once you have done the work, the inner work, to really experience who you are and to be clear about that, which most people, that's a journey, right? They go through life and they learn to solve the social and cultural imprints, and they deal with that. And then they remember through the work who they really are, which is very fulfilling and satisfying. But if you just keep revolving around yourself, you're going to become self-centered, and it's going to become a very narrow world that you live in. And to constantly just think about your own needs doesn't really feel good. And we fall into a trap where we get so overconsumed with that. So serve beyond yourself, serve others, dedicate time, dedicate attention. If you can, dedicate resources and money in whichever way you can, but do it from a place of love and from a place of wholeness. Don't do it to make yourself feel better because you felt worse. First, come into that state from which you can give, right? That's why the work is so important first. But then when you are in that state, when you know how to be balanced, when you know how to be connected, then go out and serve, give your time, help someone. The opportunities will come. You don't necessarily have to look. But when they come, say yes in one way or another and apply yourself according to your talents and strengths, because that's going to be satisfying for you and the people that you're going to help. If you try to do things that you're not comfortable with, that you're not good at, that just don't feel natural to you, it's not going to be a very satisfying experience. But at any rate, help. Sometimes it's just reaching out to someone, answering a question, dedicating some time. Because we're just speaking about this, actually, I put a link up there in the live chat. We pinned it up there, which gives you an opportunity to help and benefit at the same time. If you want to make that choice today, we have the Inspired Coaching Academy, and our aspiring coaches, our junior coaches, are currently learning new techniques and how to be coaches, and they're always looking for practice clients. So check out the video that we put up there in a pinned comment in the live chat, and see if you want to help one of our coaches. It's free of charge for you, and there will be a benefit from it for sure. So maybe that's a good way for you to begin with that decision number 6, serve beyond yourself. Decision number 7, very, very important. Spend a lot of time in nature. And again, I want to tell you, these are all choices that we have made and that we continue to make. This is not theory. This is what we live, and this is what gives us a level of fulfillment, satisfaction, and joy and happiness. And if we stray away from one of these decisions, we find our way back, because that's our most natural way of being. Go out, spend a lot of time in nature. Maybe at the water, there's a lake, a river, a stream, the ocean, whatever that is. Maybe you love to hike, go be in the woods, go up on the mountain. Maybe it's a park that's close to you. Sit under a tree, experience the natural rhythm, experience nature and what it does. You don't necessarily have to do a whole lot sometimes. Sometimes it's just being in the presence of this most natural biosphere. And, the more natural it can be. A park, it does work, but it's different when you go into the woods. But this experience, look for that more often in your life. Replace some of those downtown trips, with nature trips, we would say a good ratio would probably be 20-80 or 30-70 or whatever, but really go out in nature. And if you make that choice for yourself, also make that choice for your children. Bring them with you. Take them away from the screens and from all the electronics and from the artificial environments. Go into nature. Even if you think you're not an outdoorsy person, try it. See it. Go in your bare feet. It's slowly getting warm everywhere. Go in your bare feet. Experience what it feels like. Close your eyes. Pay attention. Listen to the sounds, the birds, the leaves. Sometimes when it's really quiet at night, when you sit outside, you can hear plants growing. We've heard little palm trees that we had planted. We heard them grow because their leaves are big, and you can hear when they make this push and the leaf grows. You can actually hear it grow. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. So spend a lot of time in nature. Decision number 8, and this goes back to decision number 1, live life fully. Follow your bliss without compromise. What does that mean, follow your bliss? So bliss is a vibration. It's a state of being that is high. It's actually the highest frequency on that emotional scale that you might have seen. Christine keeps sharing it on our Telegram channel and here on the YouTube channel every now and then. Bliss is this highest wonderful vibration. And you don't necessarily always know how to get there, but when you are there, you know what it is. You can feel it. What brings you bliss? What brings you real, true joy? Follow that feeling. That feeling guides you further and further and further to your path, to your bliss. Follow that. All that we have done, everything that's ever been good, fulfilling, successful, exciting in our lives is because we followed our bliss. It was never because we sacrificed and made and kind of said, okay, we're gonna punish ourselves long enough, sacrifice long enough, and then there's going to be a really good outcome. It has never worked that way. And we have tried. We've tried over and over. We've tried. We tried to sacrifice path. We tried to working hard on something that doesn't excite us path. All those things, all those old paradigm virtues, we tried them, never worked for us, but following our bliss always gave us an amazing journey and an amazing result, amazing outcome. So follow your bliss without compromise. And the important thing here is to really feel what is your bliss. It's not someone else's bliss. It's not if you watch someone who's doing their thing, who is really doing what they are meant to do, what their purpose is. Don't confuse what they're doing for it to be your purpose necessarily. But allow yourself to be, to let that feeling flow to you of inspiration. When you are at a great concert, when there's an artist on stage and they are in their element, what they're doing feels so good and inspiring, and you're in that experience. It doesn't necessarily mean when you feel blissful that you're supposed to be an artist too. What it means is that you have experienced what it means when someone is following their bliss. Bring that feeling to your heart, and then it will tell you what yours is. It will show you slowly what yours is. So that's why so many people go on these talent shows like American Idol or whatnot, and they don't. It's not really their bliss. They have just watched others and have made the mistake of believing that is their purpose too, when really it was about the feeling that they felt. And once they allow themselves to see that, it leads them to their true, authentic, honest, authentic purpose. Follow your bliss without compromise. Decision number 9. This is an old saying. We love it, and we do our best to live by it. And remind ourselves in multiple ways. It's a beautiful one. Write that down. Eat half, walk double, laugh triple, and love without measure. I'll repeat this for you. Eat half, walk double, laugh triple, and love without measure. Could you say that's the wisdom of life?
Yes.
Eat half, walk double, laugh triple, love without measure. It truly is. There's everything right with this statement. We love it so much. And, kind of it tells you way more than these few words. It's a big, 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 big wisdom here. But look at the important things in life. They are simple. They aren't complicated. The real important things in your life, pay attention to those. Be not mindful in terms of have your mind full, but pay attention, be intentional, be focused. Look at what's really important. And be in a present moment, especially with the whole eat half. I mean, I know it sounds like, a good joke to make, but the reason why, why so many, and sometimes when something tastes really good, I mean, come on, we overeat, right? But it never feels good because we're not really in the present moment. We're paying more attention to our taste buds, and we're not paying as much attention to our body intelligence, all of those things. But I can tell you, I thought, eat half, that's a really big statement, but we're literally eating half. We have been since the beginning of the year. Kristin and I have been alternate day eating, which means we eat for one day and then we don't eat for a day. We eat for a day, we don't eat for a day, which is literally half. Now, probably the days we eat, sometimes we eat less than we used to do on a normal day. And it isn't necessarily about, bringing down our body size to half. It's more about feeling better. So this is all the decision. Sleeping better, yes. And walk double, of course, this is a natural. We love walking. It's inspiring. It's beautiful. It's life-giving. Laugh triple. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't feel good when they laugh? And love without measure, every day, all day, 24/7. And then decision number 10. And again, this list is not complete. It's not alphabetical. And there will be more there will be more decisions to make, but all of the decision in your life will fall into one of these 10 categories here. Decision number 10 that we decided to make is that we will live by principles, not by fashion. And what does that mean? It means that especially in our time-space reality, where truths and morals, not morale too oftentimes, but morals, ethics, what's right, what isn't right, where all of those things become so fluent and fashionable, and things that people forget, the basic level of respect and dignity, all of those things. We have decided that we're not going to go with the flavor of the day and do the whole virtue signaling thing and jump on every bandwagon because someone said that something now is a new rule. And we live by true principles. We live by the principles of honesty, of freedom, of love, of harmony. These are eternal principles that will always apply, whether people understand that or not, or whether the newest generation is brainwashed enough to believe that's not true. What's right or wrong really isn't so fluent, How we treat each other, it's really not a fluent definition. There are very clear things here. So we live by principles. What freedom means is not an ever-changing, always adjusting, fluent meaning. Freedom has a very clear meaning. What peace and harmony mean just as well. What honesty and truth means just as well. So these are foundational principles for our lives, for our families, for our societies. Live by principles. Now, we can't tell you these are foundational principles, but then there will be kind of more situationally adjusted principles for you, how you feel about certain things. We can't tell you what those principles should be for you. We can just tell you that if you find yours that you are authentically aligned with, if you have principles, you will be what people call someone with integrity. And integrity really means not that you are that you pledge allegiance to one specific person. Integrity means that you have values, morals, and principles that you live by no matter what the situation, no matter what the possible consequences. You are not changing your principles because it might be financially or politically or whatever advantageous in the moment. This is real character. So we decided in our lives to live by principles and not fashion, which has, caused for our circle of friends to diminish because in an ever-changing world of rules, we just decided we're not going to play ball with that. But it's very satisfying because you attract real, honest, authentic people and people that you can walk through water and fire, and you can sit in peace and you can have beautiful conversations with. So this is really a very important thing. And yeah, once again, a list of 10 decisions that we made and that we continue to make every day that have enriched our lives tremendously and that have created radical change, because these are all life altering decisions. And when you take that list, and I hope you took some notes, when you take that list and reflect on that and just decide for tomorrow, maybe for the next week, the next 7 days, to reflect on one decision and really feel your way through it. Are you doing that? Are you making compromises in your life? Are you constantly find yourself negotiating and settling for less? Really reflect on that. No judgment, just observation. No judgment, no regrets, just observation, seeing, yes, I always settle for something that I don't really want, or just half of what I really desire, stuff like that. And walk with that one choice and see how you can slowly begin to make changes to live life to the fullest. Because I don't know, sometimes I feel like this is not getting through to people. You're not here to do it half-assed, in a half-assed way. This is not what this is meant to be. Society really, it might expect you to be so, because people that live life to the fullest are usually rule benders or rule breakers, and they don't fit in, and they're uncomfortable because they can never just agree with what you say, or they can never just go along with what most people do. They can't be normal. If you live life to the fullest, you won't be normal ever again. Take this as a compliment from someone who's really weird in the eyes of most people and who's really crazy in the eyes of a lot of people. And so Kristin and I live that way. We don't give a rip. We love it. We live life to the fullest. And that's the only way to go. If you're going to be half-assed, all of these other things won't make sense to you, because that's the basic principle. We decided to live life our way and to do it in the way that feels authentic, truthful, honest, and connected with God to us. That's the number one choice that you got to make. Walk with that. And again, it's not about judging you. It's not about regretting that you haven't done it before. It doesn't matter. I mean, we've known people that have lived for 75, 80 years a certain way. They woke up one morning, they realized it's not enough. It's not what they really desire. And they change and they make changes in their lives. At 80 years old, that's inspiring. And they say, well, I've got an eternity to live and I want to live life to the fullest. And they take up, I don't know, parachuting or ballroom dancing or traveling or finding love again, whatever that is. But live life to the fullest. Don't settle for a half-assed experience. No, there's no fun about it. And if it isn't fun, if it doesn't bring you joy, if it doesn't lead you to bliss, what's the point? Like, what's the point? Because what's the ultimate outcome? So you've lived by the societal rules and you have done everything properly, and then what? What are the memories? I filled out all the forms correctly? Who has those memories? Those are not memories. Really live life to the fullest. Just walk with that for a week maybe and see how that feels, to just allow yourself to feel it. Don't go and quit your job and throw away your whole life, but notice how it feels to make that choice and then see where you can implement it gradually and make changes. So tribe, that was our list for today. And these decisions, they're going to come up for you anyways, whether you know this list or not. You're going to have to make choices every day for the rest of your life. If you believe you can avoid choices, someone else is going to make the choice for you, and it's going to come back to you until you make it consciously. That's wherever you feel like you're not making choices, you're avoiding them, you live your life on autopilot and you're being lived. You have to make conscious choices in your life because you are the captain of your ship. You have to be. Otherwise, someone else is going to be. That never feels good, never leads to satisfaction. So be the captain of your ship. Be in charge of your choices. You don't have to make 20 at once. Make one and then live by it. Really do it. That's another thing too. Maybe a last thing to add here. It isn't just making the choice and then going on and living like you used to live. Making a choice means that you're allowing yourself to change. It will cause you, if you stick with it, to change the way you look at things, to change what you believe. Choices do that. If you really make a choice, it will gradually create changes in your life. And that's an active thing to do. So, question is, what's it going to be? Same old, or something new? Well, we don't settle for same old, same old. We always go for something new, and it's always wonderful. And we create from the loving field of unknown. It's super satisfying. Inspired Tribe. Again, click the link. Think of decision number 6, serve beyond yourself. It's a good opportunity. Help our aspiring coaches in the ICA Academy. Check out the link. And maybe, just maybe, all of this might inspire you to join us in August or September when we start the ICA 22, the next coaching academy, the next expansive journey. Who knows? But you'll never know unless you make a choice and do it. So, Tribesters. Pardon me? Oh, Alma, we want to thank you so much for your contributions, for your generosity, for showing up, being with us, bringing your love, bringing your light, and leaving some bucks here too. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. We love you. We love you all, Inspired Tribe. Thank you for all the ways you contribute and are part of this. And this was it from us for this week. So last live stream for the week. Next week, Tribe, we have one more, 149. And then on Wednesday next week, live stream number 150. We don't know what we're going to do it, but we're going to celebrate. It's going to be something cool. Maybe we'll let you know next week. So join us, come back. Can't believe it's almost been 150 live streams.
Unbelievable.
And also, in the past, we've always gotten emails and messages. If you have a topic, if you would like us to explore a subject on a live stream, if you or make it a part of it, send us an email, send us a message, let us know what you want to know more about, what you're interested in. We might just know something about it, or it might fit in well. So don't be shy, let us know. So we'll be back on Monday, 2 p.m. Central Standard, right here on the Inspired channel. And meanwhile, make some really cool choices for yourself and have a wonderful, and what else, honey?
Wonderful, magical, inspired, tremendous, amazing, beautiful
rest of your week.
Yeah.
All right. We love you all. See you soon. Bye.